So as promised then, we're back with part 2 of the building the best Venom build guide for Marvel's Midnight Suns. In the last video we looked at all the potential mods that were available for these 10 cards and I told you which mods I would go for. In this video I'm going to show you the specific deck that I'm actually using. I'm really happy where it is mod wise. I've got some pretty awesome options on it, and then I'll show you off some ultimate free gameplay as well. It's the quickest ultimate free gameplay run I've done yet. I managed to do it in round about 4 minutes or so, so we absolutely smash it. Now if the video is helpful, take the time to hit the like, share and subscribe button, and let's jump in now. We'll start off and we'll look at the specific deck that I'm using first. Now, just before I do break down the cards I'm using here, I'll just mention this build is all about using assimilation. It's an absolute incredible card. It allows you to move away from having to have quick and free on your other damage cards. The way this works is Venom attacks and heroics gain quick, and on KO you draw a Venom attack or heroic card. Now that card that you draw will have quick on it as well, so essentially you can mop up everything on turn number 1 using this, if you get it drawn on turn number 1. So that's the thing with this build, is until you get this card it will be pretty slow, but once you get the card you're really guaranteed that that's it, it's game over for the enemy in that particular turn. Mod wise on this you can get free, but then it means it's generating 0 heroism and you will struggle if you don't start off with heroism. So personally I prefer to go for the additional 2 heroism, which bumps it up to +4. So that's the assimilation card. We'll go back up to the top here. In regards to the damage cards we'll be using, and bear in mind we'll have quick on these once we pull assimilation. We've got Lethal Embrace. I think it's around about 150-200% base damage it does. If the target is full health you're repeating that damage, and with this particular card you want this on at least one of your damage cards. I've went for on KO, gain 1 strength, and so that's additional 50% damage again. I have a second Lethal Embrace because it hits really hard, and also on this card you'll see the mod I've got. If Venom has full health, and if you can pull assimilation in turn number 1 he will have full health because enemy's not had a chance to actually hit you there, then you're doing additional damage. With this card when you get a crit you're doing around about 1500 damage on it, so it's really amazing. We have Tendril Strike next. I go for chain free and quick. The reason I like the additional chain in this particular card is the way that assimilation actually works. Cards don't normally work this way, but if you get 3 kills in 1 turn it will then generate 3 cards with quick on it, which is absolutely amazing. Alternatively, if you want, what you could go for is an additional draw in this, so that gives you an additional chance. If you pull this turn number 1, if you don't assimilation, then what you can do is you can use this card, you can get a redraw, and then you can try and get assimilation in your kit. Moving on to Insatiable Hunger. This one here, I'm using this for the additional redraws and the fact it's free as well. Yeah, it gives you Ravenous, which is nice, but it's all about the additional redraws. Once again, turn number 1, if you don't get assimilation, use your redraws and fingers crossed it will pop up. If you get this card it's an additional 2 redraws. Potentially you can take 2 of these as well. I think once I get the mods I probably will. At the moment I've got 2 Tasty Brains. I would probably drop out one of them for another Insatiable Hunger, so that would be another 2 redraws. But with this particular one here that I'm using, Tasty Brains, you can see I've pulled down the heroism cost of this by 1. It's got Lifesteal, and on KO the next Venom attack card does not consume Ravenous. Same on the next card, you can see it's got really high base damage. And then finally we've got Devouring Strike. This is an awesome card. It doesn't do a lot of base damage, but it chains 4 times, and I've got it so it applies vulnerable on it as well. So you can see with the kit setup we'll be gaining strengthened, we'll be applying vulnerable to enemies, we've got quick on our cards, we just absolutely smash everything, and you'll see that in just a moment with the gameplay that we're about to show off. So let's actually dive in and let's show off that gameplay now, and this will be ultimate free. With this gameplay here then, we are lucky enough that we get assimilation turn number 1 now. I run Doctor Strange alongside Venom. The reason for that is you have a particular combat item you can use that boosts your damage by 150%. If you get that alongside the Ravenous resource, you get that alongside Strengthened as well, that's an additional 250% base damage you get. So with this run we're doing here, it's all about generating cards and using redraws until we can hopefully get Doctor Strange change his card. That allows him to get his combat items back, because the combat item that we use, it's a pretty hard one to make, so you want to make sure you get it back. And there we go, we managed to pull Astral Meditation, so that allows us to pull an additional 2 cards there, just to see what we actually get. But at the moment we've got exactly what we need for the perfect setup. We've got a Simulation, we've got a Venom damage card, and we've got the Astral Meditation as well. So there we go, there's a damage boosted up on him, and then we get those combat items back. And then from here we've got 150% base damage on Venom. We'll be working towards getting that additional strength and to pull it up to 200% base damage, which is amazing. We've got a Simulation firing off here, and then really at that point it's game over for the enemy. So I'll let this gameplay play out here. Let me know what you think of this deck in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this particular run. I was really impressed with how well it actually went, and thanks for tuning in for this. Enjoy the gameplay, and I'll see you all again soon.
This time.
That was really something.
That's gonna leave a mark.